All right. Welcome to the Omega Studio News and Talk Show T. Today is April the 5th, 2020. And we will be. Come on. There we go. All right. So, welcome to the show, you guys. Yeah. All right. Well, welcome to the show. Today is Sunday, and I'm so excited that I'm here with another episode of Omega Studio News and Social T. It's Kobe Bryant Day and Sunday. We have dedicated our Sunday for the next 23 weeks here on the Omega Studio News, Kobe Bryant Day. On this day, 70 days ago, on January 26, 2020, in Calabasas, California, late Kobe Bryant and his daughter and 6 other members died in a helicopter crash. Kobe Bryant was 41. At this time, I want to say that we do have some breaking news that is happening while we're here on Kobe Bryant. It's also has been announced that Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett will be in a Hall of Fame. Actually, it's going down on my birthday, Saturday, August the 29th. Get into it. Okay? So they will be in a Hall of Fame. Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett will be inducted in the Hall of Fame on August the 29th in Springfield, Massachusetts. That's a Saturday on my birthday. Get into it. Okay? But I do know that a lot of people is going through a little stress today, and everybody's in quarantine. So I want to take you guys to this segment so everybody can get up and you're home and we can just begin to praise God. Hit it.
I'm going to the enemy. With the anointing. And I'm going to sit back here.
I'm on mute. Praise God, get up and praise God because, we're on quarantine and self quarantine or, mandated quarantine. That was just definitely there, an exercise to get up and begin to praise God because today is not just Sunday, but it's Kobe Bryant Day right here on the Omega Studio News and Talk Show T. So again, 70 days on this day, on the 26th of January, Kobe Bryant was killed in a helicopter crash. He was 41. And also, as I announced, that Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, and Kevin Garnett will be inducted in the Hall of Fame on August 29th on my birthday, which is a Saturday. So get into it. We will have information on that date when it is available. Okay, so moving right along. So I know I've been gone. I haven't done anything since, last Sunday and then jury review on Monday. But I do want to say that there has been a lot of emails that's been coming into the Omega Studio News and Talk Show T. And there was one that came from social media takeout, and that was, the story about uh, Floyd Mayweather's daughter being charged with attempted murder on NBA young boy. So that was a story that I looked into, but there was not really much information that was available, but that she was arrested and that she was, the charges was pending. But I see here that, let me see. They say that there's graphic information or graphic video, but the video is not that graphic. I mean, it's just showing a crime scene. Okay, so let's get into this. Yeah, and I can tell you, like, it's just really crazy because you would think that everybody's getting along with everybody, but then at the end, it's like, no, you're not. Nobody's getting along with no one. And I think that's kind of sad because, it's just really sad. Okay, so we're going to go into media takeout and we're going to definitely look at this because I know I have not really followed this, but I can tell you that this is what social media is saying. So let's see. Let's go into it right now. This one. All right. So right here it's saying that from MTL that the boxer superstar Floyd Mayweather's daughter Ayani was arrested this morning after having a violent confrontation with alleged sidekick of rapper boyfriend NBA Youngbuck. So she's 19 years old and she was arrested on felony aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. And it's just really unfortunately that, I'm not going to go to this link because it's not a graphic it's not graphic. I mean, it's just showing a lot of blood, but you guys can go up on Media Takeout and look at it. But it's saying right here that she allegedly went into her boyfriend's NBA young boy Houston's mansion last night at 1:30 a.m. and confronted a woman who was with him, and then the woman was identified as Miss Jacobs. And according to the police report, she definitely wasn't having that, and she claimed that she told her that she was NBA young boy's fiance, and she allegedly charged at her with 2 knives stabbing a woman. Okay, and they saying that she was taken to a nearby hospital in critical condition, but if she's convicted, Ayani, who was the daughter of Floyd Mayweather, the boxer, right, could face up to 20 years in prison. But with all the money that her father has, all the money that her father has, I don't even think that, she can, get off of, a murder charge. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, he makes mad money. So can he buy a trial? And then also too, was it self-defense? I don't know. We just seen it right there. That's all I can give you guys, because I don't know anything about that. I just know what you guys know about Floyd Mayweather's daughter, Ayani, being charged, 19, being charged with aggravated, let's go back to it, aggravated assault, right? And that she can face 20 years. And it's so crazy. Okay, so let's say Mayweather was released from jail from 30,000 bond. 30,000 bond. Her bond was 30,000, you guys. So Mayweather was released from jail, 30,000 bond. Online records show that her next court date is scheduled for Monday, which is on the 6th. But yeah, I mean, it's just really sad that people have to go through this. If you're watching this video, can you please like it and share it if possible? Good morning to you guys. Shout out to Happy Daquan Jones. Thank you. Good morning. Shout out to you guys on Facebook and YouTube. Again, if you guys are on here, please like. We're in quarantine. It's not also just quarantine Sunday. It's also Kobe Bryant's Day as well. Kobe Bryant Sunday. The Omega Studio News Total T dedicated this time and day to the late star since his death 70 days ago. Okay, so good morning. So yeah, so I do know that yeah, so Prison View on Fridays is canceled. But you guys, I know the connection book I have for you guys, and I know y'all been emailing me, but I can tell you that the guys, we cannot communicate with the guys in jail right now. We can't do it. The guys in jail, we can't communicate with them. The men and women in jail, we can't communicate with them right now because they're on quarantine. They don't want nothing moving in and coming out, moving in. They don't want that. So all the letters and stuff that we reached out to them for pen pals and stuff for Prison View Fridays on the Omega Studio News has been suspended until further notice. But I do have the connection book for those who have been incarcerated, as well as information that may help you guys with assisting with jobs. And I want to say this right now with jobs while I'm here on the Omega Studio News Social T and Kobe Bryant Day and Sunday. Almost 10 point something million people file for unemployment. And it's so crazy because there are jobs available out there, but nobody wants it because they feel that this coronavirus is really, really starting to set in. And I do know Easter's coming up. I do know that Good Friday's coming up, Palm Sunday. It's like really, unfortunately, that people cannot go to church and they cannot have service because of the social distancing. Like today, we no one's in church because people are, we can't do this whole. It's a law. Everybody's on lockdown, so everybody doing a whole virtual church and everything. But it's Sunday. It's the Lord's Day, and we should be happy. As we seen that video in the beginning where we get up and praise God and thank Him for everything that He is doing now and everything that He has done and everything He is going to be doing. Okay, so I thank God for it. And I think that's the only thing we can do right now is just pray for others and thank God for this good day. You understand? So, I'm just really blessed and, oh, what's that word? Too blessed to be stressed, too anointed to be disappointed. Praise God. And also, too, I do want to say this, take this time out. I know I've been looking down my timeline and I've been seeing a lot of people going home to the glory to God, and a lot of people reporting deaths of people. And I do want to say at this time we can't, we can't stop what God has already written in stone for us. Okay, we can't do that, and all we can do is just accept it and just move on. But in the time now, the memories that we have shared with our loved ones, we can just take that and use that in our imagination and make it run wild and rapidly so we can remember the good times because that person is gone. They're gone forever, but their memories live on. And I want to say to Tamakwa, Tammy, I want to say in this time, I am praying for you and your family, okay, in this time for the loss of your mother. Okay, I do know that you are grieving and your family is grieving too, but however, I am praying for you and your family. The Omega Studio News and Talk to T sends our sympathy to you and your family in this time of loss. And to all others who have lost their loved ones in this time, okay, it's already written in stone. Okay, you just go to the book of Revelations and it explains to all of us of about on that time when God is very near. Okay, so I just want to say to everybody who lost a loved one, a grieved family, and I do know that it's very hectic because the funeral homes and the cemeteries are closed, and it's going to take some time to prearrange your family and prepare to bury your loved one. But sometimes if it ain't going the way you expecting it to go, it's because of this coronavirus. I'm with you guys. I know the feeling. I know what you guys are going through because I read the stories. I know definitely because, people are dealing with this stress factors and this time, and it's like it's changing a lot of things. So with that being said, I want to say that, I know what you're going through. So right here on this show, I can relate to certain things. So yeah, so cemeteries, funeral homes, be patient. They're backed up. They're backed up. Also, too, I do know that I'm not really sure if they're doing direct cremation. You have to check with your certain funeral homes that are dealing with cremation, direct cremations. But again, crematories are backed up because you got to understand that people dying from coronavirus, they have to be burned first before anything. Okay, and with storage trucks being stored outside the hospitals and places where people are dying from this deadly disease, trust and believe their bodies will be burned as soon as possible. So the crematories, wherever they're located, they are backed up, and they'll probably be backed up for probably weeks because, again, uh, you know, they have to go. They have to be burned. However, if you plan on having a funeral home, I believe, and I do know that there are some funeral homes that are practicing a social distancing. Remember, you cannot have no more than 10 people around. So if it's considered an essential business, you have to check your local, state, and county, okay, to see whether or not your mortuary is an essential business. And if it's an essential business, funeral homes are now are now starting to practice guidelines for social distancing. So again, if you started planning on funeral arrangements or funeral services for your loved ones, know that remember it's 10 people. If you do the social distancing, if you have to have a line outside the door, like how they have with these stores and stuff, funeral homes must and continue and should continue to go on because people are dying. And if you backlog that, okay, that would be a mess and a disaster. Okay, we need to have funeral homes and the mortuaries continue to run just like supermarkets and drugstores and pharmacies. Okay, so funeral homes need to run, crematories need to run, cemeteries need to get on board with the funeral homes. I know that y'all not on board with the funeral homes, but cemeteries, you need to start getting aboard because people are dying on top of the deaths that we are already experiencing through just nature, natural causes, suicide, drug overdoses. Okay, we still have those deaths and burials and cremations. Okay, so that is something that I wanted to give out. I received the email on the mortuary and notices, and so that's what I wanted to say about that. Check with your state and county funeral home, or you can call the governor's office of your state and check on how they're handling mortuary services. Okay. All right. So at this time, I do want to go to Maddie Mob News. So I do know that again, Maddie in the morning for all you guys who love T.S. Madison, who I love. All right. We do know that she has Maddie in the morning, but it's now on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays, right? Okay, let me just get this up. But yeah, no, there's no bitch like this that's been suspended, right? But we do know that Maddie in the morning is definitely on and popping. And again, we're going to go to. Okay, we're just gonna show you guys this. This is Maddie in the morning. So if you guys missed out on the show, you guys can tune into her page and you guys can see her show, which again, it comes on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And on yesterday, it was Miss Sophia. So you guys hear Maddie in the morning. Hold on, let me see if I can speed this up. Okay, Maddie in the morning again. She says she's doing this because They are in quarantine, and until the quarantine is over with, we're definitely will see someone appearing on the bench right next side to her, as she always says that she always wanted to have someone at the side of her. So yeah, so Maddie in the morning, definitely. I don't know what they were talking about on this show, this episode, but I do know that again, she is in the morning. She was asking, should she do it like every day? But again, we do know that, okay, so we see that she's talking about the Kovac. Well, that I think they was charging people who was charging for tests for Kovac when, literally you can get the test for free. So yeah, so Maddie in the morning, that's Chi Chi, her star partner. Um, I think last time she had Miss Mary, and then sometimes Craig joined in. But again, this episode with Maddie in the morning, T.S. Madison, Chi Chi, was Miss Sophia in the morning. Okay, and I think Miss Sophia is up there. Let's go ahead and roll it and see if we can get Miss Sophia. Okay, so there's Miss Sophia. And then usually Madison, usually you check out Madison in the morning, Maddie in the morning. She usually talk with people who are, around the world, around the globe, and they call in to her morning show. And she definitely interviews them and, see what they're doing. And as you can see right here, she is interviewing someone. That's Miss Sophia. Okay, what's up with the lipstick? Okay, nice. All right. So, oh, that's Chef Holly. Chef Holly is her chef. Okay, so yeah, so let's go ahead. Okay, we don't want to hold on. So just block it off. All right, so yeah, so Maggie in the morning for all you Madison lovers, Maddie Mob News, Miss Sophia right there. Again, this is Maddie in the morning with T.S. Madison and Chi Chi. You guys can catch her on her page. Now, again, for the jury, maybe we might have another jury review maybe on tomorrow. Probably, maybe it's an emergency meeting. We don't know. We did see Jason Lee on the last jury review, which I can let me see if I can go and get you guys some of that. But I think I already gave you guys some of that. But if y'all haven't seen that, I'll see if I can pull that up real quick for all you Maddie Mobbers. And again, you guys could just tune in and join with me on jury review on Mondays. Again, as soon or every time when the Queen Supreme Court goes live, even if it's an emergency meeting or if it's a regular, broadcast, whatever, the jury people will be there. Okay, so with that being said, I do want to see if let me see. Yeah, I know a lot of people are asking me. Yeah, the unemployment, unbelievable, ridiculous. Okay, so jury review, yeah, did go down with Jason Lee, and I think I did show you guys that. Okay, no problem. So again, Maddie in the morning. Let's go to Madison's uh, Twitter so we can get some information on that. Okay. Oh yeah, she was talking about how somebody had created a fake profile. All right, so we're gonna go to Madison's uh, Twitter and see what's going on for you, Madison mobbers. All right. Okay, so we're not really seeing anything. Well, we see a lot of stuff interesting here, but nothing new. We do see Madison. That's RuPaul. Then we see the Madison Miss Sophia, Madison in the morning. So yeah, so really, yeah, those live. I think she did cancel that live show that was supposed to have at Mix Atlanta. So yeah, I think that was kind of very interesting. But also too, I do want to take you guys to our next story again for Madison Mob News. This is all the Madison Mob News, TS Madison, and if you guys can, if y'all want to follow TS Madison on social media, YouTube and Twitter and Instagram, and also Snapchat, and also Facebook. All right. All right. So I do know someone sent me some information. I do. Let me see. I wanted to see. I think it was. Hold on. Let me see. I got you. It was about. It was about. Um. Hmm, it's not there. Okay. No. There was a story that I had received. Let's close it out. My game, the YouTube gaming, nah, that is canceled right now on YouTube. Yes, hello everybody. How you doing? Welcome to the show. We on quarantine, right? Self quarantine or a mentor quarantine. It is what it is. Everything is everything is closed. Everything is closed. Yes. Essential businesses. I was saying mortuaries, but yeah, they every state should give updates. Every state should give updates when it comes to their state and what the stay at home, self mandated quarantine. But yes, there was another part where the tickets. Wow, first federal inmate to die of coronavirus. Unbelievable. Um, a 34-year-old man takes his own life after being unable to cope with coronavirus self isolation. Unbelievable. I mean, it's really heartbreaking because a lot of people are still uh, they're going through this and they're pretty much definitely don't really know how to deal with this, and it's kind of it could take a toll on someone. Like I told some people, technically, I am suffering from PTSD from all this post traumatic stress disorder. Me, yes, I am because you can't really do anything. Like technically, when you want to go outside, you can. You want to go to the library, you can. Technically, if you want to go outside, you can. But if you want to go to a Broadway play, you can't. Technically, you can go outside, but if you want to go to an NBA game, you can't. Technically, you can go outside, but if you want to go to Disney World or if you want to go somewhere where there's your other friends and social life, you can't. Okay? Even the movie theaters, I wonder if they're closed. Well, yeah, they are closed because I actually tried to go. Well, there was an event that I had that was supposed to be on the last week of March, and it was canceled. and that had to do with the movie theater, and that was like once was just social distancing. So yeah, I don't even think they are open, but it's really unbelievable that we are dealing with this in our time. At this time, I do want to go to what is called the debt clock for the Omega Studio News, aka stock market. Let's take a look at that and see what's happening with our money in real time. And I know I went back and I watched how the debt clock numbers was leaving because our the $2 trillion is definitely out there, and again we can see our GDP is definitely increasing. Actually, it's decreasing. If you want to be real, if you're real with it. Um, so yeah, so the debt clock is definitely a place where you can go and watch the numbers in real time. As we see, our U.S. national debt is 23,839,705,000,000 and counting. And then we see our federal tax reserve, which now they're losing money. They already had 3,507,641,000,000 and losing money. And then our GDP, we're taking money for our GDP out of 21,658,744,000,000 and counting. Then we do see with the unemployment, official unemployment, I don't understand. Okay, hold on, let me see, because this, let me see this, let me see. So right now it says the outlook for record unemployment numbers, U.S. payroll plans. Okay, I want to see what is the official unemployment number because because if that's the case, then this number here, which will we see on the debt clock, this unemployment is actually 14,381,000 and then 7,231,000. But full-time, wait a minute. How did our full-time employees rocket if we have 129, 289, 994, and 26,547,766? I'll have to check that number again because let me see. It says more than 10 million apply for unemployment. I don't know. Maybe they're not. I don't know. This debt clock may be controlled, but I thought it was. They say it's controlling the real numbers in real time, as you guys can see it. The numbers are moving in real time. But I got to look at this whole unemployment and actual unemployment and full-time workers and part-time workers. I don't know if that number skyrocketed 129 million, because that number I think was less than that, but I may be wrong. But again, I can always go and double check because again, they did take off some of the things that was up here, which again, you guys can go to my first video that I did in February with the debt clock here on the show and see that this whole board was totally different than what it is now. So they changed a lot of stuff and they got rid of some stuff off of here. So again, I'm not really sure what, why, but I'll have to figure that out because I'm here showing the debt clock here and I want to be as accurate as possible if I'm going to give out information to anybody here on the show. So with that being said, I will go and look at this and come back to you guys with updated information because again, I'm still confused on what's happening. So, all right. Yeah, because the debt clock is, I thought it was in real time, but it's been changing and stuff. Can you check your coronavirus symptom check? Here's what we know so far. Well, somebody said they got their similar check, which I doubt it because everybody can Photoshop and do so. I don't think anybody got their similar check yet. Because if you was the first one to get your similar check, we would direct deposit. But they did say it was going to be 3 to 5 weeks, or maybe somebody did. So okay, okay. So R. Kelly saying that he's a new reason why he's terrified for his life. Vanessa Bryant, Kobe Bryant Hall of Fame induction, which is going down on my birthday, right? How Tasaki 69 got released early. Well, I bet they did release him. I mean, but yeah, for everybody who did ask me about that for prison view, some people got released from jail, and some people got released from jail with stipulations, and also those same people who got released from jail with stipulations must return back into the custody of the Department of Corrections once when this whole lockdown and stuff is up. They just don't want people to be in jail, low minor offenses, knowing that they could be contaminated or get, the virus and then pass it along, and it just be a whole, you know. But that's what I was saying when I was saying that we cannot mail anything in, we cannot get anything out because everything's on lockdown until further notice. But yeah, so 69 got released early, and that's probably why he was in federal jail, and for stitching, snitches get stitches, and you don't do that. But now he's out, and then we don't know all these people who he turned against. Maybe they might come after him. I'm just saying. I mean, it was a lot of information that we said here on the Omega Studio Social T that 69 did, and he is being sued by so many people, and people went to jail because of him. Just like that sergeant who had a perfect career and sergeant of the police department making buku money, then you're pleading guilty in a federal court, got a felony, and going to jail because of 6'9". Don't have you don't have a job, you don't have your pay, you can't be a police officer no more, a peace officer anywhere. So you're a felon, you can't have a firearm, convicted felon. So it's like all this, all because 6'9" is 6'9", and he basically made it all up. I said it right here on the show last year. He made it all up. He apologized to his fans, and he told people it was just a made up situation. He got his hair colored the way he did, he got tattoos on his face because he wanted to blend in. And the stuff that he did it because he felt that was something that he thought was already happening in the whole world. So, and him ratting and snitching on people, they got their time. I mean, we were talking football numbers, okay? He actually did a lot of stuff. Okay, Kevin Hart, 50 Cent's tell to F off after he trolls for gray hair. Okay, I remember I showed you guys all those photos up here where they was showing Blair in quarantine and they had their gray hair. I think one of the photos was Kevin Hart. But who cares? I mean, I'm growing my hair. I mean, where's my comb? I've been combing, getting my hair, and on some parts it is growing in. So yeah, I mean, what else can you do? I'm not gonna cut out the barbershops are closed. Even though I do cut my own hair, I always cut my hair in a baldy. But I'm not gonna cut this because I need my hair to grow. So yeah, and even if the barbershop was open, I don't go to the barbershop. I do my own stuff. But yeah, I don't have my glasses on because my glasses are loose, and the optical labs are closed. And I know people tell me to go and to the dollar store and get the whole thing in the kit and stuff. No, I don't want to do that. I can go get them for free, and I want them fixed professionally because if I do it, I don't want to, mess it up. But even though I'm not very sloppy and messy like that, I'm just saying. But maybe I probably have to take that advice and do it. But soon, I mean, I'm not really missing anything without them. I could do good without them. It's all good. It's gonna be a really nice day today. It's gonna be 60 degrees, almost 60, 65 degrees today in New York. So I know you guys can't go outside, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna be talking about that mask and glove because I do know with the mask glove. Look, yo, listen, let me tell you a story. I seen a man eating pizza with his gloves on. He had the pizza in his hand and he was eating the glove with gloves on. And not only that, I seen a lady. She took out sanitizer wrap, right? She wiped off her dirty gloves, right? No, listen, people. She wiped off her dirty gloves with the sanitizer wrap. The gloves that she had on, I was on a train because I had to see this. I had to witness this because there is no social distancing on the train. In New York City, there's no social distancing. And I think that it's kind of effed up because they tell people to practice social distancing. And the MTA is not doing anything about social distancing because that train was full to capacity. How can you give people social distancing if the train is full? But this lady took a sanitizer, she wiped the dirty glove off, then she put the dirty glove back in her bag, touched her pods with the dirty gloves, and put it in her ear with the dirty glove, took the remainder of the dirty glove, wiped the rest of the glove off, closed the pod case, put the pod case in her bag, zipped her bag up while she has dirty gloves on. Well, she assumed that it's clean from the sanitizer wrap. And she took that wrap, the same wrap she touched and wiped the nasty infected gloves off with. She wiped her bag off politely. And she put the sanitizer wrap back in the bag and she closed up. So not only do she got the nasties on her gloves, but she got the nasties on her bag, she got the nasties on her pods. People don't know how to use gloves, people. If you're going to use gloves, ladies and gentlemen, you must take at least 2 or 3 pairs of gloves out with you. They saying you can make your own mask. You can make your own mask. I'm going to see if my friend could send me the video because we did a video on how you could use different materials to make masks, like your underwears, your shirts, and make masks in your face. But they're saying don't be wearing an N95 mask, the surgical mask, use construction mask, or use a face mask. But I'm not using no mask. And it is voluntarily, so it's not like it's mandated. And it's not airborne, and people get a consensus of why people are wearing a mask. The consensus of why people are wearing a mask is because if you're sick and you want to prevent other people from getting your cold, you don't want to get other people cold, that's why you're wearing a mask. But technically, you don't have to wear a mask. Okay, it's not like the shit is airborne, like it's gonna be there right when you go there, when it has no host at that time to sustain in that area at that time. So by the time you come there, if somebody sneezes and you went there 2 seconds right after the person sneezed, yes, it's gonna be there. But if somebody sneezes and you're outside and you went to that area 5 minutes later, it's not gonna be there. Okay, so let's get it together, people. The mask, if you're sick and you have underlying health conditions, wear the mask. But technically, you don't have to be wearing a mask out there, ladies and gentlemen. It's not even that simple. But if you want to wear the gloves, yes, wear the gloves or wear it properly. Don't be touching your cell phone with the glove on. I hate when people got their cell phone in their hand with dirty gloves on. If you ain't wiping down your cell phone and you touching all this right here, and then you put that up to your face after you don't touch, you got the germs on your cell phone. You got it on your face. And then when you take the gloves off and you touch it, you got it on your hand thinking you did not never touch your cell phone. Let's be serious, people. This glove stuff is ridiculous. And then you wonder why you hear stories where people say, I contracted the virus and I had gloves on and I had mask on. And you still got the virus. So you must be mindful of where you touching your gloves that you have on in public. What's the sense of wearing gloves if you're not going to cautiously and carefully handle the gloves the right way? So technically, those who have gloves on, they're the most germy people because they're carrying around with them germs on their hands. Even if you know that you have germs on your hands and you don't physically see it, but someone who has germs on their gloves, they're a germ carrier. And they're touching stuff that they're touching the gloves with. And if they're not changing their gloves, ladies and gentlemen, and they're touching everything else in their cell phone, their bags and everything, not sanitizing it, then you wonder why these numbers are continuing to stagnate. And then not only that, you see the numbers are going up, right? It's because people are testing positive. And again, at that time, they was testing people and they didn't quarantine them. So they will go out, wait for their results, and then weeks later they come back and they're testing positive, but they already contaminated other people, and then they're contaminating other people, and they're contaminating other people. Okay? That's the problem. That's why they're saying now social distancing is happening and it should be the problem. But when this stuff happened back in January, they didn't do this whole social distancing and poor stuff. People was going about their daily lives. February, people was going about this. So that time already has expired, and people had it, and they said you can have it and don't even know it. And they could have given it to someone, and they may have passed it. That's why our numbers are so high the way it is. And then now they want to put in place, because they know the death rates is continuing to go up, and people are now becoming positive, and they have no vaccine, and they have no cure, and they send you home with a ventilator, and they tell you to drink orange juice, drink water, and go to sleep and get the best sleep that you could possibly have. Okay? The only reason why they want you to stay away from the hospitals is because those who are in the hospital are on ventilators, who have underlying conditions, and they have the serious strain of the COVID, and they need a ventilator because they have fluid on the lungs and they need to survive. But then they said that certain EMTs and EMSs are out there in the field, and those who are cardiac arrest, those who are trying to resuscitate someone and they can't do it and revive them, they must leave them. That's what they're saying. They must leave them. Even if you say that you can try to do CPR, but they doing that because there's shortage of ventilations, and they don't know if the person can. They're going to go to the hospital. Where they're going to go. Okay, so they're stressed because they don't have the capacity level for beds. But you would think that they would have learned this lesson after 9/11. But I'm just saying. So hospitals are overwhelmed. So people who are sick, they want you to go to your healthcare provider. Okay, they want you to go to your healthcare provider. They want you to weigh it out, and they want you to definitely now listen. That's another thing somebody was telling me about. They want you to, how can I put this? They want you to identify whether or not you have a cold or whether or not you have coronavirus. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've been having a cold for years, okay? But the coronavirus and this state of mind, what's happening now, is just something that just came upon us. But we know as a human being, okay, that we know what a cold is. And we know the onset and offset of a cold. We know the cycle of a cold. We know once when we get our itchy in our throat, it becomes the runny nose. And then the runny nose, it becomes the coughing. And then the coughing becomes back to the runny nose, or we know the cycle. So if you can, and we know when we get it, okay? We know we get it in the beginning of the year, we get it in the middle of the year, we get it at the end of the year. We know we get it twice a year, or we get it once a year. We probably haven't got it because we've been good to ourselves. Because I tell you before, a cold is very expensive. No one has time for that. Okay, so you have a cold. So they want you to identify the cold between the cold and the coronavirus. Now, I don't know, and I do know some people who say they have the coronavirus, but I don't know what the onset and offset is to it because I have not experienced that. But I can tell you the experience of a cold, a common cold. So if they're saying that it's the same way, but in the same way, you may get respiratory problem. Now, I don't know how that may feel, or if anything, when you're supposed to call 911. And now, number 10, hear me now. Hear me now. 911 is a delay. Everybody is in delay because they are not identifying whether or not you have a cold or you have a coronavirus. So they want you to go get tested. Or eventually they will have home kits for people to get tested in their home so they can go back to work. But they said the test is where you take this tinsel and you put it up your nose and you keep it there for a minute. You got to literally put it up your nose, so literally have somebody else do it for you, because it's almost like you trying to stick yourself to withdraw blood and you can't do it. Okay? So you need somebody else to do it. So they had this whole tinsel going up your nose, and then for a minute or something, so they got to take it out. I don't know how roughly it is, but I did see a video that somebody did that. But a home kit, I don't know. Maybe they do it like that or blood. I don't know. But we want to know and identify the difference between a cold and a COVID. Now, if you are experiencing respiratory problem, then my thing is this. Listen to me now. Don't go to the hospital. Don't go to the hospital. Because if you go to the hospital, you might be turned away. And you already know that some of the hospitals that are locally, you're going to spend a bit, before it was 10 hours in the emergency room. So imagine if you go to the emergency room now, you probably tops is going to spend probably a day and a half, 24 hours to probably 2 hours in the emergency room if it's not traumatic. I'm just saying. And then when you go to the emergency room, if you're in the emergency room and you're there, you know they're going to treat certain people and you know they're going to have areas blocked off because it's contaminated. Some areas are contaminated, some areas are not contaminated when it comes to a hospital, okay? And not only that, if it's not a point where you're not identifying whether or not it's a cold or the COVID, then stay home or go to your healthcare provider. But don't go to the hospital if you know you just have a runny nose and you are coughing and you have a fever or a temperature, because they're going to turn you away. And you're going to feel some type of way because you're going to feel that, okay, they don't love you and they don't want to take care of you, but that's not the case. The case is that they are already overwhelmed with population of citizens coming in and already sick. And already on top of that, the sick people who are already sick of the sick. Okay? So that's one of the things. My thing is this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to the ship. I'm going to the Jacob Javits area. Because if I can travel that distance, then I know that I will be taken care of, because they are treating non-COVID patients. Now, don't go there. Don't go there, because I just got, hold on. Don't go there. My bad. Somebody just hit me up. You must go there okay, so don't go there. Don't go there. Sorry. My bad. Correction. Those places are only for hospitals that are transferring them there. Okay, so it's not like people could show up. I'm not really sure. People could show up and just be treated. But I think, but even if you do go to the hospital, you're still going to sit there for a long time. Okay? Again, you thought 10 hours was something at a hospital, you're probably going to sit there and be there for hours. If it's not experiencing a fever, cardiac arrest, respiratory problem, you're going to be sitting there. If it's not an emergency, you're going to be sitting there. Okay? So yes, the morgues are filled to capacity because, again, they don't know what to do with the bodies, and everything automatically. The bodies, people who died from coronavirus, automatically is cremated. Automatically is cremated because the type of biohazard that is resurfacing in their body from the coronavirus, that strain is the deadliest strain that took down that person. It must be contained and it must be burned. So yes, they must be burned. That's no questions asked. They must be cremated. Again, families who want to have services for them, that's closed caskets. Must be closed caskets. That's just like having a funeral for someone who hasn't been embalmed. And the state law says that a person has to be embalmed within 24 hours after they died. But if you don't do that, then it must be a private service. Like Muslims and Jewish people, they must go on the ground within 24 hours after their death because they have not been embalmed. And that is a biohazard because rigor mortis and decomposition can set in. Okay, grand jury trial, I will suspend until mid-July. So I do know that I believe that the sentencing for Kareem Davis Robinson, who killed the transgender and the two LGBT members, all three of them, and temporarily, uh, attempted murder for the other three people. I think his sentence is going to be delayed because he's supposed to be sentenced on the 20th. So I'm not really sure if they're going to have his trial of sentencing. But they already had his trial. They found him guilty. But I don't know if they're going to sentence him because his sentence is coming up in about 2 weeks. So with all this whole social distancing, I'm not really sure if they might do it over VI camera, have him there, the judge there, and sentence him because he is facing life without possibility of parole. I believe he's going to get life without possible parole. Those jury people is not playing. What he did was very atrocious. Okay, and I do know and believe that the jury had evidence and proven reasonable doubt that he shot and killed those people. Okay, so when Law and Crime, which I believe that they may do circulation of video, or it just might appear, or maybe there's no video. I don't know, and it's probably all and they just want to get the story out, then it is what it is. But if that story comes and breaks, we will give that story to you right here on the Omega Studio News and Talk Show T. So yes, today is Sunday, the 5th, 2020. It is Kobe Bryant Day, also Sunday, quarantine. Back here, I chose this. Even though it is Kobe Bryant Day, we can go ahead and pop him up. Bada bing, bada boom, the man himself. Again, will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Okay, on my birthday, the 29th of August. Woohoo! I'll be 39 on August 29th. When he is going into Hall of Fame, I will be 39 years old. Thanks be to the Lord. Okay? All right. So quarantine. Either we're quarantine mandated or we're quarantine self-quarantine, or they just telling us that stay at home. It's really ridiculous. I know that I mean, listen, it's either we are infected or affected by this disease. Okay, we are infected or affected. It's what you make it. It's everybody surviving. Survive the way you survive. Okay, make sure you have food for yourself and for your family. Okay, make sure you yourself and your family is safe and protected. Okay, just do that. Okay, make sure that your loved ones, check up on your loved ones. If you can't see them, video chat them. Okay, on their phone or send them a text message. Hello, how you doing? That's what I was doing with my friends. I'll text good morning. I'm just checking up on you. How you doing? Everything okay? Because it just shows that when you do that, at some point, if you don't know it, some people will be like, you know what? Somebody checked up on me. That's just like somebody said they love me, and somebody say, they care for me. Even though you don't hear it, but know it that somebody's out there who care and love and is praying for you. Okay, because you never know. People are out there, you just never know. They say what you don't know won't hurt you, but in the same way, you never know what people are doing and what they're saying and how they're saying it. Because the power of prayer does work. Okay. And again, I know that from experience. All right. So that's all we can do is pray, and we can definitely ask God to continue to bless each one of us in this time of quarantine. All right. So without further ado, I'm about to get ready and go do some running and it's a nice day. And again, I want to say thank you guys again for being here on the show. This is Sunday, and it is Kobe Bryant Day yet again. All right. So again, shout out to everybody who is here. Shout out those who are coming. Shout out those who are on their way. Shout out to you guys. Again, like the video, share the video, and I'll see you guys in another one. And when the Queen Supreme Court return back to the airway, the jury review will be right behind me. We will be in the courtroom, VI courtroom, with the Queen Supreme Court with this honorable judge, T.S. Madison. I'm Kareem Clemons, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Be well. Peace.
You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.